What's up YouTube, Bro here. For this video we are going to be talking about fandoms. This is always a fun topic. But we're going to talk about this topic using three different groups. We're not necessarily going to do it separately, but we're going to do three different groups. They are the gaming fandoms, we're talking about the anime fandoms, and we're talking about music fandoms. Specifically, in my case, the Japanese music fandoms, because, well, you'll see. So, we're going to talk the good and the bad about them, because when you meet the sound-minded people of a fandom, they can help expose you to their favorite music group, to their favorite anime series, to their favorite video game or video game series. Now, the thing is, you have to be careful, because for probably every 10 really sound-minded people, there's that one nut job that you just kind of sit there and go, ugh. And that one person can legitimately make you think that everybody's like that. It's actually depressing. But what can a fandom do to expand their fan base for whatever without turning people off? Well, one thing I always find is when fandoms like something, they really, really like them. But my problem is, and this is mostly, I'm on Tumblr all the time, as you all know. A lot of times the fandoms don't really tell you, especially in a text post on there, what did they like about a group? What did they like, or what do they like about a game, or what do they like about an anime? They will focus on something, but it doesn't really tell you anything. Like, okay, there's groups like the Gazette, there's groups like X Japan, there's groups like Versailles, LS9. What do they like about them? I have yet to realistically find a text post on that website that tells me what they like about them. Most of the time, do you know how I discover these bands, to be honest? This is funny. Most of the time what happens is somebody will take a gift set. A gift set, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a group of maximum 10-second animated clips from a video, and they'll loop them over. And sometimes you can just look at that and go, huh. And that's a little... You want to know how I discovered half these bands? It's not from the video, it's from the gift sets, or it's from sometimes the photo sets of said group. Now, in some cases, like say Lorraine, I discovered them because Komajiro, by the way, I don't know why I'm holding this, but Komajiro, the lead singer of Versailles, was in that group first. So I went, okay, he was in this group, was in a group before that, and I found out he was in this group, and I said, oh, let me go look that up, and I did. And this is before I got on Tumblr, and they're one of my favorite J-rock bands, period. I can't say that I have a second, well, no, Alice not, but I'm getting off topic a little bit. Anyway. But one thing they have a tendency to not do is tell you why they like them. Okay? Here's a funny one for people. Even though I haven't been on the group in forever, there is a J-Rock group on Facebook. I believe it's called I Can't Live Without J-Rock or something. Yeah, that's what it is. And a lot of what they do is picture spam. But then again, it's any fan page on there. That's the majority of what they do. Which is fine. But does the picture really explain to you why they like the group? No. Usually because with every album the band's changing their look, they'll show that, but they don't really tell you why do I like this group? Why should you check them out? Why? You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest negatives of the J-Rock fandom. They spend probably as much time, since probably the majority of the bloggers on the Tumblr are female, they spend more time fangirling, God, I hate that term, over the new album release or whatever, than they do actually telling people who may not know about the group, especially the smaller ones, why they like them. And what you find is that can really hurt a band's chances of, say, coming over here. Because then the album sales, especially if you look at the CD Japan tracker, the album sales for North America won't be, we'll say, in the top 10, top 5, or top 3. Which really would get a promotional company's attention. You know, there's probably a better chance that we would see a band like the Gazette come over here, although PS companies kind of fidgety about who they bring over here, if anybody. But that is, you know, one of the things that a lot of the promotional companies would look at and go, okay, we need to bring so-and-so over here because their albums been consistently in the number one or in the top 5 anyway in North America, so maybe we can get them to go to a convention, or if they've been over here and they have a big enough fan base, maybe we can get them to go to Madison Square Garden or the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, or I don't know what the big arena is in Baltimore. Corner Shack would know better, but go there. I'm basically thinking places within my area. Or if you live in, you know, the West Coast, the Staples Center. You know, who is it? Japan is coming to Madison Square Garden. Do I want to? Can I tell you I want to go? Yeah. That goes without saying. But anyway. But that is the big thing about the J-Rock fandoms, because they believe in their head that it would be hard to expose people to their style of music. They stick in their, we'll call it their little private club, instead of trying to make it a bit more public than they should. You know what I'm saying? Anime is the same thing. Completely the same thing. You have your mainstream series. You have your Sailor Moon. You have your Dragon Ball. You have your Attack on Titan, which has become one of, like, their fandom's completely out of control. You have your Free Iwatobi Swim Club. Hell, I don't know about Kuroko Basketball, but you have that one, and I am a proud card-carrying member of that fandom. Thank you very much. But here's the thing. As popular as some of those series might be, They could be even better if people would, instead of doing what they do sometimes privately on Tumblr, if they would expose people, more and more people, to those series. Like K Missing Kings, like Attack on Titan, like Free Arbitrary Swim Club, Brothers Conflict. You know, I try to stay away, as you've noticed if you've been paying attention to the other reviews, I do my best to stay away, even though I know I have to do them eventually, from the mainstream series. Why? Because you've already seen those series. You already know the way you feel about them. But what about the smaller series? What about, you know, Kamigami no Asumi? What about Haiku? What about Baby Steps? What about, you see what I'm saying? What about La Cora del Blue Sky? Okay, maybe some people wouldn't consider that a smaller series because the damn series has been around for a decade. But how many people realistically have known about that series since it came out in 2003? You realize it's been around that long, right? It's hysterical how long it's been around. I just got done, not that long ago, I just got done watching its second Paso, which the reason I didn't review that is because it's only a 2-episode OVA. I am going to make one exception that I will when we get the Angel's Feather, but the thing of it is it's trying to expose people to these smaller series and tell you, why do we like them? Why do I like them? Why do the fandoms like them? You know what the fandoms do half the time, and this rightfully and properly annoys me? They will show you sometimes a pic set of a parent, and the parent can be in a, to put this as nice as I can, lewd situation, but they don't realistically explain to you, why do I like blank series? Why is this one of my all-time favorite series? For me, why was Kuroko's Basketball and La Cora del Oro, Primo Paso, two of the better series I've seen this year? Simple. The story, the character development. We've been over that. The story progression. The way they made you care about people. Not just the lead character, every goddamn person. You either wanted to punch this guy in the mouth, or you wanted to give this guy a hug, or you wanted to... you wish that you could have been in their universe so you could be their pick-me-up, or you could go want to punch that one guy in the head because he said something about a guy that you like, a character that you liked. You know what I'm saying? That is the big thing when it comes to... Now, like I said, the problem is with those fandoms, because of the way their behavior can be sometimes, their fan base won't grow. Or at least it won't grow in the way that maybe you and I think it should. You see what I'm saying? We might want to watch a series, but because of the way people in that fandom will act, especially if it's more people there's more of those people than there are sound-minded people, it makes it harder for people like me to want to get into a series. I realistically, because I used to swim all the time, I want to get into Free Arbitrary Swim Club, which I will review once Eternal Summer comes around. We're going to do Arbitrary Swim Club and Eternal Summer together as one package. But why am I don't want to say paranoid, but why am I afraid to do that series? Because there are people in that fandom, that the way they have treated it bothers me. Legitimately bothers me. What I mean is, they treat the characters in a way, and they call them a rather derogatory name that I'm not okay with. And I'm a straight man, and I can say I'm still not okay with the term that they use. I will not repeat that word here. Okay? But they use it a lot. So there's that to consider. But I'm always on the lookout for the smaller series. I'm always on the lookout for that one series that you may not know about, that you go and you sit down, you watch it, and then you comment on one of my reviews, or you comment, or you find me on Facebook, or you find me on Tumblr, or you find me on Skype, and you say to me, God damn, dude, you know what? You were right. That series was awesome. Or you find me and you say, I don't know what you liked about that series. I wasn't a particularly big fan, but as long as you are respectful, as long as you're respectful of me about why you didn't like the series, I'll listen to you. Otherwise, I will literally do this. Not because I don't want to hear your opinion, it's because you can come about it in a different manner. Do you get what I'm saying? I love Kuroko's basketball. I loved La Corredera Primo Paso. I actually also like Second Paso. First half it was kind of, but then I started to warm up to the one new character. Although the hysterical bit was me when I was looking at him and the way he was making a move on one of the characters, making a move on Kuroko, and I was like, I literally said this out loud. I was like, "Yo, Len, dude, man's making a move on your woman." Yeah, it was a series I legitimately really got into. So much so that not only did I order the one box set that I'm on the verge of getting, but there's another one that I have my eye on in the future. So, yeah, addicted a little bit. But I can tell you why I enjoy a series. I'm still waiting for the people on Tumblr. I'm still waiting for sometimes the people in Facebook group, in some of the Facebook groups, to tell me, why do you like, a series? It's so funny to me how some people can sometimes make a fan page or whatever, and they can't tell you why they liked whatever the series is. They can't do it. They'll put up a picture spam and show you something, but they can't tell you why they actually like the series. That's the part that drives me up a wall. They're few and far between. The majority of the people in the anime fans, they can tell me why they like a series. They can tell me why they like Kuroko's basketball, Attack on Titan. They could tell me why they like Free Opportunity Swimming Club. They could tell me why they like, La Corredera Primo Paso, Second Paso, or even Blue Sky as they're watching it now. They can tell you why they're like Kamigami no Sui, Haiku, Baby Steps, Prince of Tennis. Those are the people that, if they find these videos, those are the people I want watch them. I don't want the whack jobs that can sit there and go and tell me, you don't know what you're talking about, this anime was great. I'm like, alright, can you tell me why? Oh, well, this pairing was awesome. And I'm like, so you're telling me this series was great because of a pairing? Alright. That would be like me telling you La Corredera was, that Primo Paso was great because of the Kahogo-Len pairing. Granted, that dynamic was part of it, but that wasn't the whole package, for God's sakes. Whew. Anyway, we're 19 minutes and I still have to cover gaming now. The gaming fandom is even stranger. Alright, here's one where I swear to God, the gaming community needs a proper cleansing every so often. Because here's what happens. You will find people that like a game, and it's a smaller game, so it's a smaller game series, so they play it, but they will tell people about it. But sometimes, what I find when I talk to certain people in the gaming community is they don't want their certain game franchises to get bigger or get popular. They don't want their genres to get popular. Which to me is the complete ass backwards way you want to look at a gaming franchise. You should want it to get popular. You should always want a game series to get popular, because if it doesn't, what happens? It goes away. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine if Atlas sat there and said, after the Persona games came out that came over here, if they said, you know what? We never want the Persona series to get big. We never want our Shin Megami series to get big, because we don't want to be able to make 50,000 more games for this franchise. Could you imagine if that happened? Think about that. Think about that, because you would never get to play Personas 3, Fez, Portable, Persona 4, Golden, Persona 4 Ultimate, the Dancing All Night game. You would never get to play these games, even if they're quirky side games. You would never get to play, Strange Journey. You would never get to play Devil Survivor or Devil Summoner. I think Devil Survivor sucked, but that's another story. But you would never get to play these games. By the way, I should tell you that Personas 3, 4 are on the PSN store, and also just recently put on there was a Digital Devil Saga. So, there's one for you. I forgot to mention that. But, could you imagine that? There's a reason that some of these games are ridiculous in price. People will say they're rare. Well, you know why they're rare, don't you? Because they didn't sell enough. Now, that's great for your pocket, but what about the millions of other people that may be wanting to play that game? That goes back into the, because you weren't telling these people about the games back in the 80s and early 90s. Now these games go for 40, 50, 60, 70, 100, 200, $300. And your eyes get big because you think you can make that much. These poor souls, they want to play the game, but they can't because of you weighing on your pockets. I'm lucky that when I find sound-minded people in your gaming community, to be honest, anymore. And this, if you notice, I've been saying your gaming community, it's because I've stopped caring about the gaming community for the most part. I have, and I've explained that. I'm not going to get into that topic again. But the thing is, it's like, you do talk about the games that you're passionate about. You do show, when you can, because of the whole copyright thing, you do show the games that you like. But at the same time, let me ask this question. Do we really, and this goes back to the last video, do we really show the excitement that we used to anymore? Again, the answer, I think, is no. There is more. I've seen more excitement in the anime community and in the J-rock and Japanese music community because, okay, the band might literally come out with like 2 or 3 new singles and then the full CD, or they come out with a DVD. But I guarantee you, if it's one of those really popular bands like Alice 9 and the Gazette, I guarantee you that everybody and their brother, especially on Tumblr, are losing their fucking shit over it. They just are. Because as crazy as some of those fans might be, they're still passionate about it. They're still excited about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's because of those fans that I've been able to be exposed to an Alice 9, to a Gazette, to a band called Dead and Grey, to a Div, to a Megamaso, to Mixed Speakers Inc., to whatever. I still have a list of bands that I have to go through because a friend of mine, her name's Rui, gave me that list. God damn, I want to say it's almost been a year. And I still have to go through a bunch of those bands. Do you know how hard that is? I know I'm repeating myself from other videos, but it's like, still, you have more people that I've seen passionate about J-rock, J-pop, visual rock, Japanese and Korean, hell, in the K-pop scene, Super Junior, alright? 2NE1, that's 2NE1. Girls' Generation. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason Girls' Generation beat out Justin Bieber, goddamn One Direction, and I want to say it was Eminem that was around the thing. Anyway, there's a reason they beat out those guys at the YouTube Music Awards for Video of the Year, and everybody else on Twitter was screaming Fix. There's a reason, because they woke up. They brought up arms and they said, we're going to make this band number 1, and they did it in the first annual awards. Do you see what I'm saying? And I promise you that there's more people that may know about that band now in North America that did before they won that award show. Do you see what I'm? Do we see where I'm going with this yet? It's not hard. The fandoms of these 3 genres need to get a grip. They need to figure out how they can take their smaller bands or their smaller animes or their smaller games and help expose people to them. Because, let's face facts, kids. Without the fandoms, there is no legacies for some of these series. There is no, there will not be an Naruto Swim Club fandom remaining within the next 10 years. There won't be another Attack on Titan fandom, because it's, and people can say, well, those are 2 more, but still, there are people that still won't know. And it's in the game that there's people that may not know what the Tales of series is. There are people that might not know what Dragon Warrior is. There are people that might not know what fucking Catherine was, or Shin Megami Tensei. It's your job as a fandom to tell people. The game companies can only do so much with their promotional campaigns. You have to do your part. The artists can only do so much with their YouTube channel. You still have to do your end, because there still might be people that don't watch those videos. The trailers for the for the new releases or whatever. You still have to do your end. Hell, there's might be people that, despite the fact that the trailer for Carnival just came out not that long ago, there will be people that won't know what the fuck the anime is unless you tell them. The point is that when it comes to the fandoms, it's your job to help take something that's this small and grow it to be something about that big, if not bigger. You want to go from the 5 to 10,000 people that might know about it, or the 100,000 people that know about it, to eventually 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, and everybody in the world knows it. It's gotta happen. If you want your genres to survive, you have to be willing to do the work. This is why, especially in the Japanese music scene, there are street teams. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why, game companies now have the newsletters for people to get to know about, and they have YouTube channels now. But again, you can't just rely on that. They also have to hope that there's the word of mouth from the current fans to give to people that are potentially thinking about it or on the fence. And you people that are in these these really popular fandoms, like the Free and the Attack on Titan fandoms, tell people, why do you like this series so much? Why do I like this series so much? But also, don't give them the fan service bullshit. Give them like the legitimate reason. Give them something from the story that affected you. Give them something from whatever. Hell, there might have been a song that got stuck in your head from an episode, and you tell them to watch that episode and see if the music intrigues you to get hooked into the series, because that might help. I mean, goddamn, what was the episode? There was this one episode where I heard the almost full song of Crystal Time from the second season of Udapri. Got that song stuck in my head so bad I had to buy it off CD Japan like days later. I'm not kidding. I turned around and bought it. And what am I on? Oh my god. I don't know if you wrote that song, but you're a goddamn genius if you did. Hello. Anyway. God, I went on longer than I thought it was going to. Anyway, let me ask you, do you agree with any of what I said? Or did I just completely just blow smoke for like 20 minutes? No, okay, but no, seriously. What do you think? What do you think a fandom could do or should do? And let me ask this question to you. Do you think that people should be trying to grow the fandom, or are you content with having it be that big? Because to me, if you're content with having a fandom this big, then I'm surprised your game series has lasted as long as it has. That's all I'm saying. Whew! Y'all take care, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.